you are cynical, and you are unable to possess that type of beauty. When you hear that type of music, I mean, Carl Jung said this in his book Psychological Types, and he said it in Man Its Symbols. When something abstracts and becomes higher than what it is, it becomes a symbol, and that symbol reflects back on you. The symbol represents everything that you are not, and that's what beauty is. Frederick Schiller said the same exact thing as well. Creativity can't exist without the spirit of play. When something becomes a symbol, when something becomes something to be revered, you have two options. You can either subordinate yourself to the object in a Jungian introverted manner. You can either say, "Wow, this is a beautiful thing. You know, I wonder what it takes to be that." It can either entice you to want to emulate that. You can want to emulate the traits that's necessary in order to move yourself to something higher, something more transcendent. Or you can say, well, they just wrote that because they're just trying to preserve their own power. Oh, the only reason why they wrote this because, well, yeah, that symphony was right, but how come there's only 3 black violinists? Well, yeah, well, your song was okay, but you said this word that just offended this group of people. Why are you selectively, if you're just a moral critic, why are you being selective about what you're pointing out? The postmodern deconstructive movement is one gigantic, what's the word I'm looking for? The entire postmodern deconstructive movement is one gigantic, I'm going to think of the word, it's a one big projection. Everything that sucks about me, I'm going to take that, rise it up as a symbol, and I'm going to use that in a negative way, how the well-rounded fool would, and I'm going to shine down on everyone else because I don't have the traits necessary to produce something like Bach. I don't have the intellectual ability to write something as gripping as Shakespeare. So I'm going to sit here with my red pen, and I'm going to edit, and I'm going to criticize, and I'm going to deconstruct word for word, sentence for sentence, letter for letter, syntax for syntax, how this thing could possibly be wrong. And that is the psychological nature of a deconstructionist. And however, the philosophers, they'll write something on page totally different, but it's not just the mere words that they wrote. Because you have to think about what is the prerequisite for someone to even want to be that sort of reader. What is driving you to be like that? Why can't you read something to be moved by it? You can read it, you can not. Why can't you be able to, in a conscious sort of way? This is the first thing I said, like in the first episode. The attempt to take what is complex and to truncate it down in an ideological sense is an act of non-being itself. Because a conscious human being is able to separate the wheat from the chaff. Okay, I like this part. I didn't agree with this part, but overall, have that grace, that Judeo-Christian grace. Overall, even though I didn't agree with that, you make some good points here. Or even though this part offended us or this group of people, although I am able to overlook what you transgressed against me personally or my political agenda, and I'm able to have that grace to say, but you still did a good job, or we should still give this person a chance, or we should still listen to this person, or we should still publish the book. What this ideological new wave is doing, okay, well, that one sin, burn it. They said this word, trash the whole entire corpus of work. It takes out that grace. There is no redemption. It's an act of non-being itself. The lens of a deconstructionist presupposes that one cannot err. One should not err. They're taking the Judeo-Christian ethic, but they're twisting it, and they're twisting it into something completely perverse.